Joining us now on Encounter is Magnus MacFarlane-Barrow, founder and chief executive of Mary's Meal, which is a worldwide campaign providing free school meals in hundreds of schools in some of the world's poorest communities. Thank you so much for being with us, Magnus.
Great to be here.
Maybe if you could start off for our viewers, Magnus, and tell people or give them an idea. I know you've traveled to many of these places about the scope of childhood hunger and what you see out there and how important a meal is during the day for these children.
It's a huge problem today, but probably around 66 million children today are missing school because of hunger. So they're working, they're begging, they're doing whatever they need to do to put the next meal on the table, and therefore they're missing out on school and that education that can be their only ladder out of poverty. So that's really what Mary's Meals is all about linking food to education. By serving that meal, we enable those children to come into school.
And Mary's Meal is something that sort of grew. Maybe if you could just give us a brief synopsis of how things started. It started out basically with a trip to Medjugorje.
That's right. When I was 15, went to Medjugorje with my family. That really changed our lives, led my mother and father to turn our home into a Catholic retreat centre. And then years later, when the war began in Bosnia around Medjugorje, we tried just to do one small thing to help by collecting aid in Scotland and driving it there. And then that snowballed in an unexpected way. People kept giving, and I gave up my job and began driving trucks back and forth. And then over the years that evolved into Mary's Meals. And that final step into Mary's Meals really happened in Malawi in Africa in 2002. We were there during a terrible famine, doing emergency feeding. And I met this family where one of the sons in that family, when I asked him about his ambitions, just told me, I want to have enough food to eat, and I want to be able to go to school one day. And his words really sparked this mission of Mary's Meals.
Yeah. And when you were back and sort of starting things off, what was it like? You just mentioned you had given up your job. What was it like for you to take a leap like that and sort of get into this sort of charity and work that helps others?
Yeah. I mean, at the time it really didn't feel like anything very scary or frightening. I didn't really know it was a decision that was going to affect my whole life, and I was at a stage in life when I didn't at that time have family and those responsibilities. So it seemed like an easy choice to make, and I think God is very gentle. He just showed me a little bit at a time what his plan was. I think if he showed me the whole thing, I would have run away.
Maybe if you could tell us a little bit about some of the nuts and bolts, I guess, of Mary's Meals, where you are, what you do, some of the things.
So we're serving meals today in 15 different countries, over 1.25 million children being fed every day through Mary's Meals. And wherever we serve those meals, we work with the local community, and those communities volunteer to cook and serve the meals. So just in Malawi alone, where we have our biggest project, there are over 80,000 Malawians who give up their time freely to cook and serve the meals. And then the support for this work is all over the world as well. And again, people just performing little acts of love, doing whatever they can to support this mission and to ensure those meals arrive every day in the schools. So it's a wonderful thing that just keeps growing, thank God, because there are many more children still waiting today for us to reach them.
You touched on it a little bit earlier, but what's it been like for you as you speak now and see the growth of this? What has it been like for you personally, and to see people come and volunteer like they have in the numbers that you mentioned?
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing this for 25 years now, and I never ever lose this sense of surprise, of amazement, and a very deep gratitude to God that he would allow me to do this with my life, because every day I'm encountering people's goodness, remarkable acts of kindness wherever I go, and it's a beautiful thing. It just over and over again restores my faith in the goodness of people, and over and over again I see God's providence in this work as well. He never lets us down.
That's great. And Maybe if you look to the future, maybe what are some of the things that you'd like to see Mary's Meal do more of, or?
Well, as I mentioned at the beginning, there are over 60 million children still out of school today in Hungary. So it's a wonderful thing that we're feeding over 1 million children now. But we really feel like this work has just begun. Our vision is that every child in this world might receive at least one good meal every day in their place of education. And in this world of plenty, in this world where God gives us more than we need, that's possible. So that vision drives us on. And then meanwhile, it's always about the next child, about the next school that's waiting. In all those countries where we work, we have a waiting list of schools waiting for Mary's Meals.
Okay. And people can help out. How can people help out and sponsor some meals?
Well, probably the best way, if you want to get involved to find out more, is to go to our website, marysmealsusa.org. Lots of information there about how to donate or how to volunteer or how to organise fundraising events. There's so many different ways to be part of this mission.
Well, thank you so much, Magnus, for being here, and continued success, and hopefully you will get to that point where everybody is fed.
Thank you so much.